Many players consider Dori to be a character not worth investing into, that the amount of utility she provides isn't good enough to be worth a team slot. Personally, I have found Dori to be one of the most interesting units in the game. Through her ult, she is able to apply Electro onto the active character continuously, and is the only character that can do this to my knowledge. Plus, with her C6, she can temporarily Electro infuse her Claymore attacks. With these unique characteristics, I plan to build Dori as a main DPS. So, let's get into it. Unsurprising to regular viewers on my channel, my plan was to Dragonstrike with Dori's Electro Infusion. This was probably the best way to get the maximum amount of damage out of her, and would make the most out of her characteristics. The interesting thing is that Dori's Dragonstrike animation is really scuffed. Let me play that again for you. Yep, her strike mystically disappears. I don't get why, as I've never seen behavior like this before in any character I've Dragonstriked with. You would normally still see the strike animation of the attack, but in Dori's case it just disappears into the void or something. Maybe she sent debt collectors after it. Also, she surprisingly gains a lot of height from Dragonstriking, especially for a short character. Practicing the Dragonstrike timing wasn't going to be too much of an issue. However, there was a different problem. If you've ever read Dori C6 before, you know that the Electro Infusion given from it lasts a brief moment, only 3 seconds. Given that her skill is needed to proc the infusion, that means there is a 6-second downtime overall. For this plunge idea to even make some sense, I would either have to go physical Dori, or find some way to make up 6 seconds. Dori does have some built-in cooldown reduction thanks to her first Ascension passive, or A1 for short. This would realistically allow for 1 or 2 seconds of cooldown per skill proc, but this on its own wasn't enough. To solve my problem, I looked towards one of the most unique artifact sets in Genshin, Thundering Fury. This set allows you to reduce your skill cooldown by 1 second anytime an electro reaction is triggered by the active character. Between Dori's ult, the normal attacks, and plunging from Dragonstrike, and skill procs, this artifact set would almost certainly be enough to deal with my issue, or at the very least, reduce the cooldown to around 4 to 5 seconds. However, to really stress test this, I would need to build a team. Given my fixation on using Dragonstrike, I needed a character that could provide movement speed while also being synergistic with Dori's kit. As it turned out, the best option I had available was Jean. Not only could she provide the necessary movement speed since I had her C2, Jean and Dori's ults have extremely good synergy with one another. The idea is fairly similar to the synergy between Jean and Bennett, which is called Sunfire. In this case, Jean's ult cleanses the pyro application off the active character from Bennett's ult, then creating pyro swirls. With Dori, this interaction instead produces electro swirls. I don't think anyone has coined a term for this directly, though I like to call it lamp storm on occasion. I know the name isn't great, but it's the best one I could come up with. My naming sense isn't exactly the best. With 2 of the selected characters being healers, it would be an extreme waste to not use Furina. Furina's damage bonus gets scaled faster the more healing you have, so this seemed like the most optimal choice for the team as a whole. As for the 4th slot, I wanted to slot in a Dendro character. Getting access to not only Quicken, but also Hyper Bloom made getting a Dendro character in the party imperative. Honestly, Nahida seemed like the best option out of all the characters I could choose from. Now then, what do I call this team? Dori is effectively Goomba stomping a slime to plunge here. I mean, she's basically Mario, so I don't know, Slime Stomp? Also, I kind of noticed this earlier when I was testing this team, but it literally looks like a Wi-Fi bar, so I jokingly named it Mario Wi-Fi bar. You know, just cuz. Anyway, since I now had a team, it was time to do some cooldown reduction tests and see if my theory of reducing the cooldown on Dori's skill to around 4 to 5 seconds was viable.
I think it works overall. Yeah, you can't do 2 plunges in a row, but you can get the skill back pretty quickly. Okay, and now I can't swap. Great, thanks game. Actually, maybe energy is not as big of a concern as I thought.
In the end, I could probably get at most 2 to 3 skill usages realistically per rotation, but this was enough for me. With that testing out of the way, it was time to get my team geared up. I have leveled Dori a significant amount in the past, but she isn't triple crowned, so let's change that. Now that Dori has collected her depths, it's time to discuss weapon and artifact choices. As I discussed previously, Dori had to be on a 4-piece Thundering Fury set to make this idea work. So the only real choice was which weapon to choose. My options included Wolf's Gravestone, Mailed Flower, Serpent Spine, and Red Horn. Aggravate/spread damage is the hardest to optimize overall due to the additive bonuses the reaction gives based on EM, and so I had to resort to my good old friend.
Heck,
Yeah,
dude,
it's
like,
a bit
why did they make it
worse.
so
Not that
complicated?
much worse, though. I think they're pretty
Calculating
comparable
stuff.
overall.
Okay, so now we
So
need
hard to do.
30
Wolf's Gravestone
blocks
does feel like a
total,
little bit
so
better
that
at
looks
times
like
when considering everything, though, which is kind of nuts
wait,
if you
let
think
me
about
just
it.
use
Wolf's
this
Gravestone is like
Like, the fact
relatively
it's even
competitive.
close is
Effectively.
crazy to me. And I also just think, like
Wolf's Gravestone is looking pretty good. Like, it's actually competitive. I don't know. I'm surprised Mailed Flower is so low. Wolf's, like, also freaking Red Horn putting out numbers. I'm not including the passive, by the way, too. So that also puts a wrench in things.
I still ended up going with Mailed Flower though, mainly due to Hyper Bloom being a large part of Dori's overall damage, and it wasn't directly considered in the spreadsheet. Moving on to the rest of my party, I put Nahida on 4-piece Deepwood, since a decent amount of Dendro damage was done in my testing from Nahida's skill and Hyper Bloom procs. Weapons wise, since enemies would be affected by either Electro or Hydro generally speaking, I put her on Magic Guide. For Farina, I was planning on using 4-piece Golden Troop. It's the best set for her to deal damage with, and I already had a decent build. Her weapon was Fab Sword, as I needed ER for her to ult along with extra particle generation. Finally for Jean, 4-piece VV was the artifact set of choice here to get the Electro resistant shred. I went for a more crit based build since she needed crit to actually proc her Fab Sword, but if I had Xiphos, I would have gone for an EM based build instead, and well, it would have been much more optimized for the Lamp Storm mechanic. With my team now fully geared out, it was finally time to challenge the new Abyss. Since this Abyss came out somewhat recently, about a week ago or so as of recording this, tips will be included throughout the runs. Funnily enough, most of the tech that I will be really showcasing is contained in the first half due to the restrictions of this Abyss, so you'll get to see a full Abyss run this time. Also, just as a note, this Abyss run is actually continuous, no energy resets, no switching team comps. You'll see how it works out.
爬起来，爬起来！固化是木，我来保护大家，烧起来吧！就是超级做梦快，确认踩。喝吧，干活讲不通就打点了。嘿，有攻击了！哦，追尸成景。630吧。 线难画，超快速的收起来吧！任何人不慢，别打人的天地，上次不会太吵了。练一下师傅的枪法，固化是木。没有，确认安全距离。收起来吧！开始攻击了。不过。 快说吧，630是防弹员，就是收起来吧，别打这个天地。确认安全距离机会线，一线难画，固化是木，讲不通就打点了。 做客吧，让世界热闹起来吧！一手加钱，一手加画，以剑为师。3、5，留下剑。 手下有点痛，来我家做客吧。我的显灵，一级守护，风之使禁止。哎呀！看我的！留下魔拉来！一级天灵刀！开锅了，开锅了！断！鱼线难画。我来保护大家。哦，彩雨流红。确认安全距离。踩！知识成景，该走攻击了，收起来吧。好，入308释放单元，见识下师傅的枪法，热乎热乎嘛。雨线难画，断！确认安全距离。为我歌颂！刺激，智慧，欢唱，以我之名，一手交钱，一手交换。当当，以剑为誓。哼，嘿呀，哼，哈，留下魔拉来。慢点吧，让世界热闹起来吧。知识与你分享，好像有点大显身手时间。嘿呀！风，回应我吧，留下魔拉来。嘿呀！记住你了，为我歌颂。欢唱，以我之名。慢点吧，一手交钱，来我家做客吧。一级守护，风之使禁止。看我的！哟！嗨！嗨！当当！哟！留下魔拉来！
It's always fun to make characters the community considers as bad work. I didn't Dragonstrike as much as I wanted to, but I had to focus on some other mechanics to do the Abyss with the teams I did, like slowing down my rotation down to generate crystallized shards, or stopping at certain HP thresholds, like for the Golden Wolf Lord. Also, speaking of that, what the hell was my Shaolin Burst hitting here? Like, there's no part of the boss that is at this location during the fight. I don't get it. This game makes no sense sometimes. It also didn't help to be on a different setup as of recording the Abyss runs, but hey, I made it work. Hope you enjoyed the tips and found them useful, and thank you for watching the video. I'll see you next time.